Gender confirming care for kids is a broad subject. So tonight, Fox 24 is going to take you further on what some of that care actually looks like. Follow me to the board here. I put together some facts from the public broadcasting service. First, we'll go over puberty blockers. That's our topic for tonight. This treatment's actually been used for decades to treat puberty that comes in earlier than kids or parents want. And it can also be used for kids who are suffering from what's called gender dysphoria, basically the distress caused when someone's gender identity is different than what it was at birth. Now, if the kids meet clinical guidelines, they're offered puberty blockers. And in order to meet those guidelines, you need to show signs of puberty first. That usually happens between 8 and 14 years old, a little bit later for boys. The effects of puberty blockers are reversible since puberty does resume as soon as the treatment stops. One possible side effect is a potential decrease in bone density when the drugs are stopped. Now, this is just one step of the gender-confirming care process, and as this lawsuit continues and we cover more of it, we're going to go over hormone therapy and surgery as well, so stay tuned for that. Now, also earlier this week, Fox 24 took you further on some of the first steps of transgender care for adolescents, puberty blockers, and hormone therapy. And tonight we're going to talk about what surgery means for trans young people. Follow me. I've gathered facts from the public broadcasting service and put them right here on this board for you. Surgeries for trans teens and adults are less common than hormone treatment, and most guidelines recommend patients who do decide to do that be 18 years or older. Now, studies show trans youth and adults are prone to suicidal behavior and increased depression as well when forced to live as the sex they had at birth. And opponents of trans medical treatment often cite studies that say kids usually outgrow their trans identities. You may have heard that, but those studies have actually been discredited. We're going to have more coverage of the trial happening through the next several days, so stay tuned for that. So what exactly is critical race theory? Fox 24 is going to take you further now. We're going to define it, but first, let's talk about what CRT is not. The 1776 Project PAC's website claims that CRT teaches that, quote, every fabric of American society is based on race, and that CRT is, quote, incredibly hostile to white people. It also makes the claim that CRT supporters want to rebuild society in their Marxist vision. So let's hold these statements up to a microscope. Well, according to information from Harvard and the University of Maryland, CRT does not have anything to do with these claims. It does not attribute racism to white people as individuals or groups. Instead, it says that U.S. social institutions like the criminal justice system, housing market, and healthcare system all historically have produced different outcomes for people depending on their race. Now, to use examples from those institutions, different treatment of minorities by police, redlining in almost every major American city throughout the 20th century, and also something we've covered at this station the last couple of years, the fact that for much of the COVID pandemic, minorities died from the virus at higher rates than others. So CRT does not teach that all white people are racist. It does not have any ties to Marxism either. And it does not teach that everything in America is based on race. Instead, that the extent to which racism has affected everyday life in America is bigger than some may think.